How's it going, everybody? I am Jason of Jason's Realm here, and today I'm here bringing you guys my top 10 fantasy quarterbacks heading into the 2023 NFL season. So let's just dive right into this. At number 10, I have Anthony Richardson of the Indianapolis Colts, purely because he has been showing a lot of work ethic, and from what I've seen through training camp, I have seen a lot about this guy being a good worker. He's in a decent scenario. You have Jonathan Taylor as a solid back. You have a couple of solid receivers out there who he can throw the ball to. The question is going to be is what will he do whenever he's actually on the field? There were some concerns today that came out about him, or at the time of recording today, about him having his first reps in the red zone and seeing how tight everything is in there, that there's not a lot of room for mistakes. So that is a small question mark there, but I'm almost certain he's going to be the day one starter in Indianapolis. At number 9, I have Justin Fields. This one, I'm not as confident on it. I mean, definitely anything's possible, but I do think that Justin Fields will make up for his lack of receivers with more so than anything else with his legs. Because this man, I mean, he can run like a running back, and then he throws the ball like a quarterback. This man is a fantasy dual threat, so basically you're getting a free running back with your quarterback for fantasy whenever you start him. So I find it to be a safe bet. He definitely has some weapons, but I'm not sure if he's going to be able to utilize them the most. He has not been looking the greatest on the field, but like I said, anything's possible, and his legs can carry him in fantasy. At number 8, we have Aaron Rodgers of the New York Jets, and this pick purely because the Jets are built to win now and win big. They have a lot of receivers, a lot of weapons, a good solid running back room, and that offense is it could very well be electric. Now, if Rodgers flops, this pick is going to look like the worst pick out there. But I do think that Aaron Rodgers is in a situation to win and win big, and that if he can live up to the moment, this man can be one of the top performing quarterbacks of the year, especially in fantasy with all those receivers. I mean, you have Tyler Conklin as a tight end. You got a bunch of receivers in that room, headed by Garrett Wilson. You have a solid running back room. And I mean, it's just a beautiful situation there for any quarterback to do well. At number 7, I have Kenny Pickett of the Pittsburgh Steelers. This one, some people might call me biased, but at the same time, Kenny Pickett, he's got a wonderful lineup around him. A great tight end, top 10 tight end in Pat Freiermuth, top 5 if you ask me. At least Freiermuth is in that conversation. Pair that with the fact that you have Najee Harris and then a solid secondary back with them. You have a loaded receiving room. You have Allen Robinson. You have George Pickens, Deontay Johnson. I mean, and that's just 3 of the ones I can name offhand. You have a lot of depth in that receiver room as well. The Steelers are in a good position to win and put up a lot of points offensively. If Pickett can live up to what he built off of year 1, this man can be absolutely incredible. He could be one of the top fantasy quarterbacks in the league easily. Number 6, I have the Buffalo Bills quarterback, Josh Allen. This one, I mean, it's fairly obvious, although Allen might be sliding a little bit on this list, depending on what happens with the Stephon Diggs situation. News just broke the day of recording this that Stephon Diggs is not really present for the actual practice of training camp. He's been there, he was there in the morning, he was there yesterday, but he left when practice started. So if there's an issue with Stephon Diggs, yes, Josh Allen's going to be solid, but he's also said that he needs to stop with his legs, using his legs every time, because he knows it's not going to last long for him. So he's going to be focusing more on being a passer, but he does have the weapons to do that, and he does have the technical skills to do that. The question here is going to be what happens with Stephon Diggs. At number 5, I have the Miami Dolphins quarterback, Tua Tagovailoa. This one, I mean, it's a pretty obvious choice. You have Tyreek Hill on one end, Jalen Waddle on the other end. You got 2 deep threat receivers. This man can be bombing 40-yard touchdown passes like it's nothing. Especially if you're in a league with big bonuses for longer touchdowns. Oh, Tua's going to be your guy through and through. You have the fastest 2 wide receivers out there. 2 of the fastest out there. And, I mean, Tua's really been accurate on his passes. It showed last year. When Tua was in the game, the Dolphins were one great team. At number 4, I got Patrick Mahomes. Shoot me, sue me, call me a hater because he's low. I don't care. I just think that Patrick Mahomes, he's going to be solid, but other than Travis Kelce and a couple of the receivers, I think you have Isaiah Pacheco, you have a couple of them, but the thing is that the Chiefs' offense is going to be up there, but it's not going to be the best offense in the league. I can almost guarantee that. And I think that Patrick Mahomes is going to suffer a little bit in fantasy just because of the fact that you have other quarterbacks ahead of him who are dual threats. The top 2 on this list are dual threat quarterbacks that have weapons around him. And then you also have another one that has great weapons all over the place above him. So Patrick Mahomes, he's definitely a top 5, top 3 quarterback, but in fantasy, he's only top 4 right now. At number 3, I have the Cincinnati Bengals quarterback, Joe Burrow. This one mostly because you have Joe Mixon on the running back. You have a solid set of receivers with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins leading the way. And that offense, it's been explosive in the past. Now, this could be a bit of a boomer bust pick in your league. If you're taking Joe Burrow, you could be looking at a bit of a boomer bust week in and week out. But on those boom weeks, I mean, you're talking a solid quarterback play on your fantasy roster this year. At number 2, we have the Baltimore Ravens quarterback, Lamar Jackson. This one stems from the fact that Lamar Jackson is really good on his legs. He is one of the top rushing quarterbacks. He's up in the conversation with, you have Jalen Hurts up in there and Justin Fields. He's up in those two in the upper echelon of running quarterbacks, and the Ravens did a lot to add weapons. You already had Mark Andrews there, but then you also add on to that OBJ in the offseason. You pick up Zay Flowers in the draft. I mean, you are looking at a really potentially loaded wide receiver room. And I think the Ravens are still in a little bit on D-Hop, so if they try to even somehow work it out to add D-Hop onto that lineup, oh my God, forget about it. Lamar Jackson's going to be one of the best fantasy quarterbacks in the league. Pair that with his rushing yards just about every game. This man could be a strong quarterback. I mean, I'd be taking him easily first round, easily first 3 or 4 picks in the draft is where I have him go. And that leaves at number 1, the Philadelphia Eagles quarterback, Jalen Hurts. This one, it's pretty self-explanatory. As long as the Eagles don't have a Super Bowl hangover. If they have a Super Bowl hangover like the Rams did, or even like other teams that have made the Super Bowl and lost did, then you're going to be in trouble. But I think the Eagles have enough to counteract that. You have Dallas Goedert, you have A.J. Brown, you have a lot of weapons there. And then pair that with the fact that you have a solid running back room. Jalen Hurts is one of the most mobile quarterbacks as well in the league. And you have a quarterback who could be running easily, let's say, he could be running 30 yards a game, 35 yards a game, passing for easily a couple hundred a game, throwing a couple touchdowns a game. You are looking at a really high ceiling fantasy quarterback with a fairly high floor too. You figure at worst, you're looking what? Maybe no touchdowns, 200 yards and 30 yards rushing. That's still a solid quarterback performance out of any quarterback. So that's about going to do it for me today. If you guys did like, don't forget to smash like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments as well what you think I could have done better on this. What also do you think? Who do you think is a top 10 quarterback in fantasy this league? This year. I want to hear what you guys have to say down in the comments. And I guess with that, I will see you guys next time. Make sure also, while you're here, check out the video that's popping up right down here any minute now, if it hasn't already. It's one that YouTube thinks you will enjoy, so why not go ahead and click it? And I guess with that, I will see you guys next time. Peace out and have a good one.